Hello, this is my trade recap for January 8th, 2024. It's on Boeing. We had some news. Boeing shares fall after the door blew out. Now this is after the market, but yeah, the door blew out mid-flight, so yeah, not very good. Not good news, but the stock pretty much closed flat, but it had some movement for the day. So let's take a look at my trades, why I traded them. So first off, I was looking at it pre-market here, so we'll just go like this, keep it all clear. Chart's a bit messy. So this is pre-market in the brown. So first thing I did was I qualified the trade. So just let me see. So I was looking at it, and the gap was 6.75% down. Average volume was about 5 million, and ATR was $5. So average true range was about $5.50, and relative volume was 22%. So it was trading 22% above its average volume right now. So that's important. So it opened up this morning at 4 a.m. Big gap down, like I said, 6%. There it was yesterday. I found levels on the daily chart and wherever else. So we saw it come down, had a little bounce, had another bounce, come back up, and it was close to market open. And what I was seeing in the pre-market was a little bit of a base, actually, because we got sucked up here, and we had a nice little buy up right here on a little bit of volume, not a lot, but it's pre-market. You get what you get. But yeah, had a nice little buy up, and it made this nice this nice spike pre-market. And I was watching that because these set up in a few different ways, but when you see it like this, it becomes suspicious as to if it's actually going to be a down play or not. If it gapped down and it did, up to here, it did that, or it even did this, and then it come up a little bit, but it kind of stayed flat. It consolidated near lows. That would make me favor a short more. But the fact that it come down and it got sucked up like this, and it made it broke the high, it broke the opening, right? And it made a nice push like that. To me, that's saying that there's buyers in it. That doesn't mean it's going to go up, but for me to have a strong short bias, I want to see it come down, fart around a little bit like this, but consolidate at lows into open. And it didn't do that. It popped up. Yeah, it sold back off, but there was definitely some buyers in there to bring it right up, right? It was down as low as 225 and up to 233, and the average true range is $5. So it was trading above the average price range in pre-market. So that's big. So anyways, we traded in 2 minutes. Yeah, I trade whatever, 1, 2, 3, 5. So the market opens, and just does what you expect it to do. Comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down. And I was waiting. I didn't want to get into it too early. So I wanted it to have a little bit of price discovery first and confirmation, because I felt like it would trend one way or another. At least that's what I wanted to see. So just drawing stuff. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, so the market open. I was working, so I didn't trade very heavy on it. I'm a heavy equipment mechanic, so I do this while working on heavy equipment. So it's not the easiest thing, so I don't put too much risk on. But anyways, so here's the trade. We got in. It started to base out. Where did it base out? Pre-market lows. Look at that. So the buyers are still there from pre-market. And a lot of the pre-market buyers are institutions. So when you see certain things happen in pre-market, good chance it's institutional buyers. Not a lot of retailers do pre-market trading, or some of them aren't even allowed. So, keep that in mind. So yeah, I come down there. Tried to come down. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Tried to go up about once, maybe twice. So it keeps trying, gets sucked up. And then I tried again, didn't. And then it starts to grind up a little bit. I call it stair stepping. But anyways, at this point, once it come back up, I marked this, the high and the low of the range, and I wanted to see it break to one side or the other. So eventually it broke to the top side with a bit of volume. See, look, nice volume spike. More than most of the morning. So we had volume. That was my confirmation, one of them. But I don't want to take it just on a volume spike, so then I waited for it to retest. So come back, top of this range, and it retested. The orange line is VWAP, and the center line is just a Keltner channel I use just to see where price is. So it was holding VWAP. So it broke out with volume, came back, retested, holding VWAP. You see it started to curl up, and it's hugging VWAP. 2 minutes, another 2 minutes. Starts to lift off of VWAP. And I get in right here. When I see it holding, I'm going to get rid of in calls. Yeah, okay, just a note. So, yeah, I got in right here. I bought some calls. And not a lot of calls, though, because, like I said, I was working. But what did I do? So I bought the 232 calls, which was a little bit out of the money, more than I wanted, but there wasn't a lot of call options. And my target was this spike, this pre-market high-ish in that area. So that is 232, what did I get? 232.50. So yeah, that's basically right at that high would have been in the money. A little bit further than the money than I wanted, but that's what I chose. So it hugged VWAP, and it started to once it did this, it started to stair step, nice and controlled pump. And I got in there. Stop was in this area. If it starts coming back down to lows again, I'm out. If it wants to go back up, I'll get in. But, at this point, it's 10:30. So if it's not going to rip, then, I don't want to be in it anyways. So we get in, and I'm watching it. Oh, also the market was doing the same thing. So I do confirm with other things. So obviously the market was... why is this hiking, actually? What is 2 bars? Okay, of course. So the market was doing the same thing. Market was coming up. SPY was coming up. Same thing with Boeing coming up. And and I closed my calls here, just in the money. And it was 40% on the contract. So pretty good gains for the trade. It was a nice trade. I just saw it struggling, and it was getting to toward that pre-market high, and I kept seeing these pops, these strong red candles. Looked like there were some sellers coming in, so I just got out there, and I would have got back in. I was thinking about getting back in right here for that break for the afternoon, around 1 o'clock, to take it higher. But I made 40% on that first trade, so I didn't feel the need to get back in just for the sake of trading. So, and luckily I didn't, because it wouldn't have worked. So anyways, and we popped all morning. So once we hit that high, we tried again, consolidated, had a nice dump, came up to it again, tried again. And I was talking to somebody, and I said, look, I think it was right about here. And I was messaging them. I said, look, you see what Boeing's doing right now? It's flatlined. It's not going anywhere. And at that time, SPY was absolutely squeezing out. So what time was that in the day? That was right around, last hour of the day. So SPY, all of a sudden, that last hour of the day, we'll put her up on that. It started to pump. It was squeezing out because we had a couple of down days here. So it just started to squeeze out for the whole day. Look at that. That's how it finished. Squeezing. Big short squeeze today. It was a big short squeeze. Look at that. Up all day. So that's what the market was doing. The Qs were doing it. NASDAQ, Dow, everything. But Boeing was doing this. And I said, look, that market is squeezing, and it's squeezing hard. If it has any type of pullback, I was expecting more of a pullback, and it didn't. I was expecting maybe, from here or somewhere in here to pull back, a couple of bucks. And it didn't even do that. But I said if it's going to have any type of pullback, Boeing's going to tank. So I took some puts, and I was just going to hold them overnight. And, because I expected SPY to pull back. I still do. I have puts on it now. But I expected to pull back at least into tomorrow, because that was a big squeeze. So I got in some puts, and where's my... I just want to see what strike I was in at. So we bought the 227.5. So not too far out, but that is pretty far out. I gotta watch that. But I was expecting low a day. I said if this thing, if the market pulls back, this thing's gonna go to either today's lows today or tomorrow. So 227.5. That was my strike. So I got in, actually it was dumping. I got in, I seen it started to dump like this, breaking this low level I had. I said I'm in. So I grabbed those, and it wasn't very long. A couple of minutes later, and I exited right here. And that one was it was about 79 or 80%. Just in that couple minutes. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 minutes. I made 80% on those contracts. So that was a really good trade too. That was really good. I like that one. The good risk reward, right? Because it was coming down. And if it wanted to come back up and test highs, I was just going to get out. I wasn't going to hold it. So we got in here. My target was, low day-ish. And that would have been my risk. So, a 3-to-1. Just like that. On the options too, so they act a little bit differently. So those are my two trades for the day. So the first one, basically, it was just an opening range break with confirmation. The price action was stair-stepping. It based off pre-market lows with volume. And, Boeing's a good company. When it drops 6%, big boys, hedge funds and stuff, they're going to load up on it. It's a deal. That's what they do. These news events, everybody wants to sell them, which they do. But, you got to think about it from the big boys, from the people that have money. This is something they'll put in their portfolio, and they'll keep it for the next 10 years. Boeing just had a big order of a bunch of planes. I forget who, but they just had a big order there last year. So, this news here is not going to, it doesn't change the company fundamentals. Yeah, they'll have to put some planes out for a bit and check it out, but... So that's kind of what I was looking for. And when it started holding pre-market lows, I thought, yeah, darn right. These guys are going to buy it up and they're going to keep it. So sure enough, that's what they did all morning. They just bought it up. And that's why it went up. So, it's a good stock. It's a good company. So those are my two trades. And I do have puts on the SPY. We'll see how it goes. I'm just looking for this thing to pull back more. After a squeeze like that, you'd think it would pull back. So... looking at that little post-market spike. So right now it's flatlined, and the futures are coming down. Where are we here? What's going on? Oh, okay, well, this is not turning out to be too good. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so right now futures they come back a little bit, but they're holding, and it looks like it wants to pump here. So it's holding pretty flat. So we'll see what happens with those puts. But anyways, if it does, I don't have much risk. I only have about 20% of what I made today. I'm only risking about 20% of those puts if they, close at zero, which they won't. So if it does want to pump tomorrow, the reason I took that trade here, let me go over why I took it too. I didn't just short it because it was out. This is a good lesson, actually. So when the afternoon range is more than the morning range up to noon, then there's a low chance that stock is going to continue in that direction without some type of a, a pretty good pullback, at least a quarter of the move or somewhere around there. So if you look, this is the morning range. Where are we? I don't know where we started. Something like that. That's the afternoon. So there's more distance in the afternoon than in the morning. So normally it doesn't keep continuing like that into the next day. But if it does, here's the thing. If it continues like that again tomorrow, it's to the moon. It's off to the races. So what I'll do in the morning is I'll look. If it wants to keep going, I'll get out of the puts and I'll get in calls. And it's going to rock it again. So we had a couple of days of sell-off here into the first week of the year. So it is prime with shorts. Now these are all my levels. You can't see shit. Yeah. I got to keep those levels on there though because they're important. So yeah, that was today. We had a big sell-off. We almost cleared the whole sell-off just today. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm expecting a bit of a pullback. See, here's another day. Had a big pump up like that. These were pretty big too. But yeah, here's a really big one. And the next day it finished higher, but at least I had a bit of a pullback, and that would be enough to clear my puts and profit. And then the next day it come down. So we'll see what happens. Okay, that's my recap for today. Hopefully you learned something, and see you next time.